He walked into the studio expecting a friendly chat, just another stop on the press tour, another polished appearance, another smile for the cameras. Tom Cruise had done this dance 1,000 times: promote the movie, crack a joke, thank the host, and move on. But this wasn't just another interview, and George Stephanopoulos wasn't just another host. From the moment Tom sat down, something was off. George's practiced smile was there, but the warmth wasn't. Behind the eyes, ice, the kind of cold that warns of a storm. George began with his signature cadence. "Thanks for being with us this morning." "Always a pleasure," Tom replied, voice steady, grin sharp. "Excited to talk about the new film." "We pushed the limits again, some of the biggest stunts we've ever done." But George wasn't interested in stunts or films. "Before we get to that, I think our viewers are more interested in some of the controversies that follow you. Your involvement with Scientology, for instance. A broken bar. It hit like a sucker punch." Tom's smile didn't vanish, it stiffened. He blinked once. "Well, George, I think people tuned in to hear about Mission Impossible, not tabloid gossip." But George leaned in. He wasn't done. "Don't you think the public deserves accountability from someone as influential as you?" Tom shifted. Hands gripped the chair tighter. "With all due respect, I came here to talk about a film, a project hundreds of people poured their hearts into. If you want to have a different conversation, maybe we do that off camera." "But we're on camera now," George replied, tone darkening. "And these are fair questions. You've been a public face of a controversial group for decades. Why not defend that publicly?" Tom stared at him, jaw tight. "Accountability for what? For entertaining people? For doing my job? For working with some of the most talented professionals in the world?" George didn't flinch. "Let's talk about those stunts, then." "Some say your insistence on doing dangerous stunts yourself is ego-driven. You put productions at risk. Isn't that selfish?" The smile vanished. The room froze. Tom's voice dropped. "That's out of line. I train harder than anyone. I work with the best. I would never endanger my team." "But you have, haven't you?" George shot back. "Studios have faced delays, insurance claims. You've cost millions just to play action hero." Tom stood up, chair rolled back. Cameras followed. Producers panicked. Every eye in the studio locked on to him. "You think this is journalism?" Tom asked, voice vibrating with restrained fury. "You ambushed me. You twisted this moment into a performance. A hit job." George tried to smile, but it was thin. "I'm just doing what the viewers expect, holding people accountable." Tom stepped closer. Calm, but razor sharp. "You think this makes you brave? You think grilling celebrities makes you important? You don't speak for the American people, you speak for yourself." The control room debated, cutting away. No one moved. George raised his voice. "I've interviewed presidents, world leaders, people who actually matter." Tom stopped. His voice was deadly quiet. "So I don't matter? The millions of people who work in film don't matter? The crews, the artists, the audience, so they're beneath you?" George faltered. "That's not what I meant." "It's exactly what you meant." The studio had gone silent. Even the hum of equipment seemed to disappear. "You've already made up your mind about me," Tom continued. "Before I sat down, before I said a word." "That's not journalism, that's ego." George tried to cut in. "Tom, I think we should take a break." "Oh no," Tom interrupted. "You wanted this to be live. You wanted confrontation. You wanted to make a show of it. So let's do that." He turned to the camera. "To everyone watching, what you've just seen is the cost of modern media. When truth becomes secondary to spectacle. When human beings become clickbait." George shifted nervously. "I'm still the host of this show, and I'm telling you this interview is over." Tom looked back at him. "You're right. It is over. But not because you ended it. Because I'm walking away." He straightened his jacket. Took a final look at the studio. "To those who tuned in hoping to hear about the film, I'm sorry. That wasn't my choice. But the movie, it speaks for itself. And it was made with the same integrity I brought to this interview." He turned and walked off the set. George, still seated, looked hollow, small, defeated. The cameras caught every second of a takedown no one saw coming, one that would leave a permanent scar on the host's reputation. And just before Tom disappeared from view, George called out, "Tom, waiter, can't we just Tom paused, looked over his shoulder. "Next time you invite someone into your studio, George, remember they're a person first, a story second." Then he was gone, and the broadcast cut to commercial. But the fallout that had only just begun.